Hey everybody, this is Dark Side Elite, and I want to talk a little bit about a few things that's been happening over the course for the DCEU. And one of the things that's been going on is Game of Thrones and the DCEU and what's going to be happening in the future. Um, I want to talk a little bit about the Game of Thrones, and we've been watching a lot of these characters for the past 8 years grow, evolve. They've changed, and some of them died, and some of them actually have completed a complete U-turn to what we've seen. Some of them are positive, some of them are negative. Um, Case in point, one of the episodes, The Bells, which was one of the biggest episodes of the season. Something that John Aaron and Ben Everts have been talking about on their podcast, and I want to talk about it a little bit here too. What I got from that episode is that over the course since season one, we've seen Daenerys Targaryen has been ridiculed, has been belittled, and has been in a way completely second classed by her brother, and then she finally meets a guy called Drago to give her something that she never thought in a world, that he was going to fight a war for a throne, and she didn't know much about it. She All she's known is that she is the last Targaryen, and that throne belongs to her. Over the course since season one to two to three to four and even five, we've been watching her say flat out, point blank, that she is going to raise King's Landing to the ground through fire and blood, and she's going to do it because that throne belongs to her. It is her throne. And I think that a lot of people believe that this was a strong characterization of Daenerys Targaryen. I didn't see that. I saw that it was a cool moment, and for us, the audience, we know that she is a lost Targaryen. It is her birthright. It is hers. But ever since the bells, we have noticed that we are now not we have forgotten that scene was the mark of a sociopath. She became a psychopath there. She is so dead set to getting what she wants. She doesn't care who or what's in her way. And everyone's got to remember, she just lost the trust of her advisors. She just lost her best friend, Miss Sunday, and she lost over half her army to the Night King, and lost another dragon. Um, there's only much as what a person can take, and watching the fact that all of this started because of the throne, and also because now she knows that Jon is a legitimate Targaryen, and that he has legitimate claim to the throne, being Rhaegar's son. She lost everything. She lost the she lost all that other stuff, and then on top of that, she lost the love of Jon Snow, and now she's gonna lose the throne. The one thing that's been consistent throughout her character since season two, actually since season one, and she decides that she's done. She's done. She's gonna burn everything to the ground, and she's going to, um, um, she's gonna do whatever the hell she can. She wants from this point forward. She's lost way too much. She's tired of it. She knows that Sansa's gonna play the game, and Sansa, for me as a character, has completely. Um, I never really liked the character. I thought that she's been a simpering mess since season one, and now she's become more of a. She's become the new Cersei. In a small way, she's become a new Cersei. She's not screwing her brothers. She's not screwing her brother, but she's manipulating everybody. She doesn't care. She has little to no care, and in whatever symbionts that she remembers the fact that she's fought this hard to get to Winterfell, and that Jon is now not her brother, but he is a Targaryen, and all this and all that. It just, to me, her character is now going to go down the path of becoming the new Cersei. And I think that a lot of people need to really let go of the Sansa character and really remember that she's the one that started the War of the Seven Kingdoms. She did. She went to Cersei and Joffrey and told them what her dad was doing. She's the one who got her father killed. She had multiple times to leave that castle, but she was so afraid. She became a timid bird, like the Hound told her, that she did not want to leave. She was so scared of what Joffrey would do, she stayed. And to me, she should have got the heck out of there. Even Tyrion said he could get her the hell out of there. And Tyrion can manipulate almost a lot of people, and even Joffrey for that matter, and make it look like that Sansa ran away in the night. Who the hell cares? She doesn't mean anything. There's a lot of things that Tyrion could have done during that time frame to get Sansa out of there, and she'd have been harmed. She'd have not been harmed and got all the way back to Winterfell and been perfectly safe in Winterfell. The Theon rebellion would have never have happened because Sansa was there. There are a lot of things that would have happened that never would have happened if Sansa got the heck out of Dodge when she was supposed to. So, in my honest opinion, I understand a lot of people how they feel about Sansa. They feel that Sansa's a strong woman. She deserves what she deserves. This is her growth into becoming a full fledged person. But you also got to realize she's a psychopath too. She basically manipulated a lot of people to get where she wants, and she learned to play the game, and she learned it from one of the masters, which was Littlefinger, and then threw him to the wolves and allowed Arya to kill him. Think about that. I understand Littlefinger deserved it. We all know that Littlefinger deserved it, but she basically screwed him. So I mean, come on. I mean that's the hallmark. That's the hallmarks of a psychopath too, and there's a lot of things that we need to truly let go of these characters and realize that they're all corrupted. And the apple doesn't fall. I'm not saying the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, but the way that they constructed a lot of these characters is we saw their growth. We grown very attached to them, but it looks like that nothing is gonna change. Nothing has changed. We're gonna see the new Mad Queen, a new Targaryen go mad, and then we're having Jon Snow, who's a legitimate Targaryen, who's acting just like Ned Stark. Now, I'm not saying that Jon is gonna die. I'm not saying that this is how it's all gonna end. But you also got to look at how they're being characterized, and it looks like that nothing has truly changed in Westeros, and we're just getting another version of the Game of Thrones told to a younger generation. That's what I'm getting from this. So I want to move on to that, and I'm hoping that tomorrow night, the series finale of this gives a lot of fans a lot of closure to these characters, and that it truly does blow our mind what they have in store for us. Now, one of the other bigger things is what's going on in the DCU. Um, I want to talk about John Aaron Garza's article and what does it truly mean for the Snyder Cut. It No duh. Come on, it's a no duh. We all know that AT&T and WB are in it for the money. We know that they're going to do whatever they take to move forward to a whole new DC. So why does what he wrote bother us so much? It shouldn't. It should be a no duh. If you're in the business and you're here to make money, why would you want to invest in another money pit? Why? That makes no sense. Just to give the fans what they want and you're not going to make the money back. I don't think they're going to want to do that. AT&T is not in the business to just give stuff to the fans. They want to see that they can make at least some level of profit or break even on this. It makes sense. I'm not pissed off about it. What I'm truly pissed off is I am truly pissed off at the fact that it's now dividing our fandom even further. What John Aaron Garza wrote is a no freaking duh. It is no duh. He told this to us a long time ago. I said it point blank that Aquaman has to be a success. Shazam has to be a good success. Aquaman was $1 billion success. Now you're asking WB and AT&T and Warner Brothers, Warner Brothers and DC. You're asking them to look at Shazam and say, oh, it only made 360 bucks, $360 million. Okay, that's a flop. No, it made almost close to three and a half times more than its budget, maybe more than that. We don't know what the true budget is. We're only told that it's $100 million. I understand how people feel about the movie. I do. I understand how people feel about the movie, but just like what I said about what I'm gonna say about James Wan, and I told this to a lot of people. Um, that's what that is what James Wan visioned for us. That is exactly what he told to us. He said he wanted to do a swashbuckling adventure movie. Yes, was it? It was. Did you guys want it deep like Man of Steel? Yeah, that'd be really cool, but that's not James Wan's style. He tells a lot of great visual and great character stories, but the writing for it was not meant to be that way. And I understand how that feels. I understand that you guys, that a lot of people, even the men and the women, they wanted a much more deeper, compelling story. Hey, I understand that, but that means that we're gonna ignore what James Wan wants and say, give me what I want. What the heck does that mean? That means that everything that we're doing for the Snyder Cut means absolutely bupkis. It means integrity. It means we're standing behind the creator's vision. Now, James Wan, he might there's behind the scenes that say James Wan didn't kind of want to do all these jokes, but he stood behind his product, and that's all that matters. Now, now if it comes out 5, 6, 7 years later that no, he still stands behind it, then we should still stand behind what he did. We should stand behind what Chris Sandberg did. He gave us a Shazam movie that is so mirror to the comics that I actually enjoyed the damn movie. It does feel like a Marvel movie, but that's the character of Shazam. Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, the Hulk. These are not characters like Shazam. They're not two-dimensional characters that you just make fun of because and throw jokes out there. Captain America is the way the Winter Soldier is supposed to be. Iron Man is supposed to be in the same vein as the first Iron Man. The Hulk is supposed to be a horror story. These are characters that need to have their own genres and stick to their own genres. If you wanted a Thor, look at Wonder Woman. That was how they should have did Thor, in my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion, and I'll stick to it. But that's what this is about. It's about um, directors getting their visions, and James Wan had to make concessions. It makes sense. That's the only way certain things are going to work. And James Wan stuck behind it. He asked for Zack Snyder and his help. We know that. Um, and Zack Snyder helped him with a little bit of it. So why are we getting divided because of what happened with James Wan? Why are we getting divided because of what's going on with Chris Sandberg? That makes no sense. We are gonna we as fans and we as DC fans and even comic book fans, we're doing the job for AT&T and WB. We are going to divide ourselves to the point where now it's not going to matter. We're going to argue ourselves to the point where we're forgetting what the Snyder Cut's about. That they're going to go, look, now they're arguing, let's just keep moving doing the moves that we're doing. They're not making an impact. And that's what John Aaron Garza's article was supposed to say. Stop the bickering. Stop the infighting. You can have your opinions about about things that DWB is doing and what DCC is doing. That's perfectly fine. That is within your right. It's also within your right to actually complain about it. But to start arguments and start up trolling on people for trying to support it, and saying that we should boycott, then we're never going to get the Snyder Cut. We're not going to get the Snyder Cut at all. Why would they want to invest? The reason why the Donner Cut got to light is because people stopped the arguing and they basically came together as a cohesive unit, and they worked hard to get that cut. You got Chris Wong, you got John Aaron Garza and Ben Everts and Eric Blake, Hard Boiled Entertainment. You got a lot of these people, even Dingus Bringus. I know he does a lot of rumors and he sticks with what what a lot of the what a lot of what the scoopers are saying. But at least they're trying. They're trying to give you hope, and also they're trying to calm the fires. And all a lot of us are doing is we're arguing amongst each other. Why do we have to argue? If you don't want to watch the DC movies, just leave it alone. Just walk away from it and go watch something else. It's perfectly fine. I have a friend right now that doesn't want to watch any more superhero films. He's tired of them. And it's because of the infighting. It's because the arguing because Marvel is better, DC sucks. DC sucks because they're not like Marvel. Marvel should be more serious like DC. Who cares? Who the hell cares? Marvel did their almost close to $2.7 billion success in Endgame. I John Aaron, in my personal opinion, is a soul friend. This guy is so on point with some of the disagreements I have with certain things in the movies that I go, dude, I completely agree with him. Ben is the other side of me that's the comic book fan that wants to have hope. And I do like the Marvel movies. I like some of them, but I don't want to look at them and be so negative and so too objective towards them that I'm not going to try to enjoy them. I enjoyed Endgame for what they were trying to do. I just couldn't understand some of the aspects and story plots they were trying to tell me. But that's fine. That's being critical. You can't just turn off your brain and think that everything is going to go hunky dory about a movie. You can't do that. But that's the reason why John Aaron and even Ben and even Dave and Chris Wong and Kyle Movie Marks, they all flat out stated that that's the reason why they love Zack Snyder movies, because they do challenge the mind. They do entertain you. They give you what a comic book's supposed to look like and the feel of a comic, but it still entertains you and it makes you think. And you get people that come jump on the internet and they say, well, this and this and this. You get movie stars who are trying to, flame up the whole arguments, and it just makes it worse and worse and worse. Listen, Robert Downey, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, all these actors have made their money. They made their money. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. They now see it as it's just a job, and it sucks. I don't want to have an actor on the set that says it's just a job. When we first got Robert Downey Jr., he enjoyed and loved being Iron Man, but now look how much he's getting paid, $80 million just to be in a movie now. He's almost becoming $100 million actor just to do a comic movie. No, man, that's way too much money. Um, and it just keeps dividing the fandoms. And all John Aaron was doing is he was just telling us this from a business perspective is why the AT&T is how they feel, not what they're doing, but how they feel about the Snyder Cut. They see it as a money pit. They don't see it as a success. But we have to show that it's going to be a success. That is why I am with Eric Blake and Harbor Entertainment and the rest of them about what they want to do with the Snyder Cut down over in San Diego Comic Con. I'm for it. Bring it. Let's do it. Um, and I'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. I really do want to talk a little bit more about my Arrow season 2 wrap up, but things are busy. Things gotten positive, so I'll bring that out as soon as I can, probably tomorrow. Tomorrow after work, so it'll probably be you probably won't get it until Monday. But and the last thing, Robert Pattinson is not confirmed, but he's being told to be on the short list of becoming our new Batman. Now, people are saying it's confirmed. No, it's not. No, it's not. DC hasn't confirmed it. Matt Reeves hasn't confirmed it. We would have saw all over Matt Reeves. We would have saw all over DC and even WB. That's, hey, welcome Robert Pattinson as our new Batman. We would have saw it. We would have saw it, but we haven't seen it yet. So that means that Robert Pattinson is on the short list. Nicholas Hoult is being on that list too. Army Hammer is probably on the lower side. Lower side. They want to get like John Era says, they want to get a Kirsten Stewart type of actor to play Batman. Now, how I feel about Robert Pattinson, I'm I don't care. I don't care. My only thing is people want to use Ben Affleck. They want to use Michael Keaton. They want to use Heath Ledger. Now, here's the thing. You can't use Michael Keaton because social media wasn't that big. It came out on the Hollywood trades, and a lot of people did voice their opinions, but there was no internet. There was no internet. They took polls. That's all they did. They took polls. Heath Ledger, understandable. I was on that list. Same with Ben Affleck. I was on that list. I didn't think they were going to do a good job. I thought this was stupid. The guy for Brokeback Mountain. Oh my God, what the hell? However, when I saw the interview of what Heath Ledger's talked about, what he felt the Joker is, and how he wanted to portray that character, it relaxed me. I went, oh, okay, all right, let's see what he does. I saw the design. I was a little off-putting about the design, but when I saw the movie, it made sense. His design made sense. The what he wanted to do makes sense. It is the greatest on-screen Joker ever. It beats Jack Nicholson's because Jack Nicholson was a much darker version of Cesar Romero's Basically, Heath Ledger's version was a darker version of Mark Hamill's. Let's just be honest about it. He was a much darker version, a more anarchy version of Mark Hamill's Joker. End of story. And I think that that's how they wanted to do it, and it made sense. It blew our minds, and he deserved that posthumous Academy Award. He deserved it because that man took the movie away from Christian Bale. He took the movie away from him. He made us more invested in Joker than we were in Batman. I didn't give two S's about what Christian Bale was doing as Batman. I thought that that was a weird version of Batman in the first place. Fine. But Ben Affleck, the man didn't do a great job with Daredevil. And Daredevil is a poor man's version of Batman. Let's just call it as it is. However, when Ben Affleck talked about that he loves Batman. He's been reading Batman since he was a little kid, and he watched the Adam West TV shows. He's watched the cartoons. He has a Batcave in his own home. He shows to us that he is a huge Batman fan, and he understands how the fans feel about his casting, and he also understands how important Batman is to pop culture. And that's where it made me change my mind right there. It wasn't the fact of me seeing him in the suit for the first time. It wasn't for the fact of me seeing his portrayal for the first time. It was that interview. That interview is the one that really changed my mind on how Ben Affleck was to be that character. It made sense to me. I was fine with it. Um, I was perfectly okay with it. And when I saw his Batman, I was happy. I was happy, and I was perfectly fine with him being Batman. If he was gonna die, great. If he was gonna get his own movie, great. If he wasn't, if he was gonna be in just Batman BVS or in Justice League, great. It's fine. I just want to see what they're gonna do with that version of Batman. Now the same thing goes for Robert Pattinson. I want to hear what he feels about Batman. Because if he just comes in and kind of scratches his head and is kind of just he mumbles through most of it and he says that he doesn't know or he feels that Batman is this or this and it kind of doesn't feel like he's that excited or that he's very acknowledgeable, I'm gonna be a little upset. I'm gonna be a little upset and I'm gonna be a little nervous because that means that we're now gonna rely on the director directing him on how to be Batman. When come on, I mean Ben Affleck didn't need Zack Snyder to talk to him. He didn't need Chris Terrio to help write it. He knew what to do with that character. He understood Batman. He understood the mindset of Batman. He understood the pressures and the anger, the angst, the rage that Batman has, and that was on screen. Yes, was he killing? Yes, but that was supposed to make us go, "Wow, this Batman is off the rails," and that was part of his story. That was part of his crucible, his arc, and it just made me upset. I don't want to get into that. I will do a huge talk about by this. However, please, everybody, I understand how they feel about Game of Thrones, but we've already known this. If you don't, then you need to rewatch the shows. You need to rewatch the seasons and literally listen to what Dany says. Listen to what Sansa says. Listen to what Arya has been going through. Listen to Jon Snow. Listen to these characters. Listen to Tyrion the only thing out of that whole thing that made me kind of go, "Oh my God," was Jaime. And I'll talk a little bit about that after the series finale. However, the whole thing with John Aaron's article, just to wrap it up, no duh. We already know this is what AT&T and WB and DC is about. They want to make money. Justice League was a money pit. They screwed up. They screwed up, and they want to fix it, but they can't. They can't just pour another $40 million into a project that's only going to make them maybe close to 10. That's stupid. So why would you want that? Just to satisfy the fact that you got what you want and now you can quit? That's what they're hearing too. They're hearing people that says, "I just want Snyder stuff and I'm done." No, I want to see what Snyder was going to do, and I will be completely fine with whatever else they want to do. I will be fine with it. I will let go of a good chunk of my resentment for Julie Smollett Bell being the Black Canary. I'll be perfectly fine with that. I'll be like, "Okay, whatever. I'll see the movie." But I'm upset because is this what we're getting in the DCEU? That's what a lot of us are wondering. Is this going to be the new DCEU? Because if it is, then wow, I'm already baffled. Okay, I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. And that's why I feel that the San Diego Comic Con is extremely important. We need to know what's going on. We need to know the directions. We need to know what are they going to have an interconnected universe, or are they going to be all just their own personal stories? We need that. And the Robert Pattinson situation, come on. Let's not use Heath Ledger, Ben Affleck, or Michael Keaton as defense shields, because one of them, there was no social media, and the other ones, no one really listened to the interviews. Or if they did, they heard the interviews after the fact. I've heard the interviews before the fact, before they even did the roles. I was perfectly fine with Heath Ledger. I was a little off-putting about the design. I was like, what the heck is going on? But the story told me why his face was cut, why he was wearing makeup. He was just a sociopath. He was just a psychopath. And he was an intelligent psychopath that made people believe that dude, everything was all chaos. When it wasn't. It was all part of a huge, gigantic plot and plan that he made. And also for Ben Affleck, he told us how he feels about Batman. I want to hear what Robert Pattinson says about Batman. What I don't want him to rehash what Matt Reeves says, that how he feels about Batman, and this is gonna be a detective noir and this and that. I want to hear how he feels. And what I mean by how he feels is, how is Batman important to him? Batman important to me gives me confidence that I can move forward with all the tragedies that people have in lives, and he tries to push forward and tries to do the right thing, and still try to save his city from criminals and psychopaths and murderers and thieves and rapists. Dude, it could break a normal man. But Batman keeps doing it. Bruce Wayne keeps doing it. And if he could do it, I can do it. Same goes for Superman. All the religious zealotry, the bigotry, the hatreds, the negativity that Superman deals with, personal and for everybody, and all the screams and the horrors that he has to listen to, and everything. If he can continue to be Superman, then we can continue to be people too. And that's how we should see these characters. And that's how I feel they should be written. But that's just me. The directors have a different outlook on these characters. That's why I don't have a problem with what Patty Jenkins did with the first Wonder Woman. I had a problem with the third act. The rest of the story was fine. I would have been perfectly happy with Wonder Woman, like I was perfectly happy with Aquaman. I understood his character. I understood his growth. I understood the growth of Billy Batson in Shazam. No problem with it. It's all about the integrity. It's all about the director's vision. But it's also, we got to realize that WB, AT&T, they're in it for the money, and that's all that matters to them. They want to make money. They want these movies to make a lot of money. Now, this is Dark Side Elite. I hope that you guys catch me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is at LewisJ1980. Um, Again, it's Dark Side Elite. I will always be following a lot of people, keeping up with the news. Just tell you guys the news from my point of view and also my personal opinion. But thank you.